Oh boy, I have been looking forward to this video. It's going to be a contentious one. We are looking today at my top 10 rankings of the all-time best cool tone eyeshadow palettes. I am expecting a lot of back and forth and dialogue in our comment section, a lot of disagreement, a lot of agreement. I just really want to have fun and have a nice discussion. We're going to do all of that. I got them all here in front of me, and I got more than 10. Ooh, you'll see. But I have them all here in front of me. We're going to do that today with me, Rebecca. I am a fashion and beauty editor for print journalism, for well over 20 years, and I have worked with some of the biggest names in the industry, but I have brought not fit for print beauty right here so that you can have a sort of filmed live beauty magazine to look through every day or so here on YouTube. All right, let's get started. But since we're talking about eye makeup and eye looks, it lends itself as a perfect segue to talk about the sponsor of this video, and that is the ZIIP Halo. This is a microcurrent, nanocurrent device, a facial device that tones and lifts the skin, reduces fine line, boosts collagen, and I've been working with this exclusively on my face for the past few months. So I wanted to talk to you about two of the eye treatments. There's an eye and a depuff treatment. But let me just tell you, this little guy, it works with dual waveform technology. So there is a microcurrent that goes through as you are using it that does kind of an instant, you can have visually instant depuffing and glow. And then there's a nanocurrent that does kind of long lasting. I am working a lot with my jawline on it now. And I love the fact that Melanie Simon, who is, this is impressive, an electrical esthetician, developed this to be simple, to be easy. It barely ever needs to be charged. I end up charging it like once a week because I just want to make sure it's ready to go. I'm really relying on it, but I don't even need to charge it that often, to be honest with you. There are different areas of the face that can be targeted. When I do the jowl line, I think it's like 3-minute treatment. The whole face can actually be done in like less than 12 minutes. But I wanted to speak with you specifically today about two of the eye treatments since we are talking about eyes. It's so little and compact, so easy, and so foolproof. When you sync it with your phone, you can choose a treatment. For the eyes, there are two different eye treatments, the eyes treatment and the depuff treatment. They plump fine lines on the eyelid and under the eyes. This works on like crow's feet, so you could apply your eyeshadow better and the look of it is less disturbed. It's kind of a smoother application process. You can lift the eyebrow. It works. I mean, who needs Botox when you can have this? It lifts the eyebrow area and achieves a more kind of a sculpted appearance just overall to the eye area. Combined with sculpting eyeshadow techniques, you can have really dramatic results, and it can depuff around the eyes. And who doesn't need that, especially around the holidays when we are all lacking sleep? I have really come to rely on this little device that is so small, so simple, so easy, and so foolproof. And right now, ZIIP Halo is having their early Black Friday savings. You can use my code RCZIIP, that's RCZIIP, at checkout, and I have all of the links below, but you can use my code RCZIIP for 20% additional savings over anything already offered for Black Friday. For instance, you could get the ZIIP Halo itself for 20% off with my code, but you can also get what they're calling their Christmas Superior Gift Set, which is 10% off already, and then an extra 20% off with my code. You can get a bundle of gels. You see the gel, it's so nice. There's this beautiful clear gel, really gentle on the skin, that I use to put on. You can even put it on and it conducts the little micro and nano currents. And you can get a bundle refill of those gels for a percentage off plus an extra 20% off with my code. Individual gels are going to be 25% off with my code. So I just want you to think about it, whether it's the eyes that you're looking for or the whole face glow, or even just a lifting jowl area. The ZIIP Halo has you covered, and my code RCZIIP saves you even more. make sure that you're looking down below for information on all of those links and how to get your hands on this little guy, which is helping me feel and look a lot better. So thank you so much to ZIIP Halo for sponsoring this portion of the video. All right, let's get into it. All right, let's get down to the nitty gritty here and let's talk about cool tone eyeshadow palettes. So if you know anything about this channel, you know that I always say that I am home to the Cool Tone Revolution Army. What's that? Well, it's free to join. In fact, just state below in comments, totally free, that you are a member. You can even give yourself a ranking. We have 12-star generals, and we have world leaders, and we have all sorts. We have captains and foot soldiers, and we have clergy. We have everything available to you in the Cool Tone Revolution Army. And what that is a group of people who are so sick of all the warm tones in all of our eyeshadow palettes and makeup. They're waiting for the Cool Tone Revolution. And those that are members of the Cool Tone Revolution Army say that they hate when a palette is called neutral, but it's actually, frankly, just warm. The Cool Tone Revolution Army is a picky bunch. They do not accept warm-leaning neutrals as cool tones. Now, yeah, they're very exacting. That is why we will probably have a little bit of a fuss kicked up over this video, and I am here for it. I also have done so many swatches in this video, it's kind of ridiculous. Okay, we're gonna do 10 through 1, and it's true that sometimes I'll name more than one palette for a brand here. But I will tell you my pick, okay? And I will tell you why I put it in the spot I put it in 10 through 1. Can you disagree with me? You bet you can. In fact, I invite it. And I want you to also jot down what you think I missed. I think you're going to be super duper surprised by my number 2 and my number 1 pick. I really am excited. I really tried to stir it up. 2 and 1, you're not going to guess. I'm not even going to bother having you guess, because I think I'm going to surprise you. All right, let's start at number 10. My number 10 choice for my favorite cool tone eyeshadow palette is actually a new one. They span time here. This really does span quite a few years, but this one is a new one. It is number 10 spot. It is the Laura Mercier Winter Wonderland palette. Here it is. Here it is, $56. And I just reviewed this little guy not too long ago because it was new for this holiday season. Look at that. I put this as number 10 because it gets a little bit icy. And you guys know, cool tones, I love them, but they don't always look good on me. And icy definitely doesn't look good with my coloring. I'm a light medium neutral. Icy's not really my favorite, but it is a good, cool, I mean, the shadows perform well, so I thought it deserved to be on the list. Here it is outside in the warm California sunshine at number 10, the Laura Mercier Winter Wonderment palette. It's a pretty one. The number 9 position, oh boy, this was a tough one. And as I always say with my rankings, you guys, I kind of wonder if you catch me tomorrow if I might change the position. But we're going to talk about Anastasia Beverly Hills. They have some really good cool tone palettes. And I argued between 2. The Nouveau, which is $55. There's one more. I didn't give it to the Nouveau, but this is one. I think this goes a little warm. It's got some oranges and stuff in it. A lot of people see this as a seminal kind of cool tone palette, but I knew that my Cool Tone Revolution Army would get at me because, you know, we got some warm, really warm shades in there. I think it makes it versatile, but doesn't make it cool tone. I told you, the Cool Tone Revolution Army people are very exacting. So I didn't give it to the Nouveau, but I swatched the Nouveau. I'll tell you what I gave it to. It's another newbie. I went ahead and gave it to the Sugar palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. There are some warmer shades in there, but for the most part, this is a cool tone palette, and it's very affordable. $29, probably our most affordable on here. In fact, yeah, our most affordable on here. Here it is, the Sugar palette. Let's take this outside into the warm California sunshine. We have the Nouveau over the Sugar, so you can see them both. There they are. And you know, you guys, I was running up and down and doing these swatches and exhausting myself and complaining. I have no right to complain, by the way. Absolutely no right to complain. I'm putting makeup on my arm. So don't listen to me. Don't feel sorry for me. But I was complaining and running up and down. So I started doing like swatches on this side and then swatches on this side. I thought it would be time efficient, you know. So that makes the ones that are on this side a little goofy. I'm sorry. Here they are again, our Anastasia Beverly Hills Nouveau and Sugar. And Sugar takes my number 9 spot in the best cool tone palettes of all time. Okay, let's talk about my number 8 slot. My number 8 slot probably deserves a higher placement, but it's not available. It's impossible to get, you know, unless you buy it on like Mercari or something, and I don't get into that because I can't, you know, validate those purchases and all that. So I put it a little lower, but it's a great palette, and it wouldn't be complete without talking about Scott Barnes. Remember his Natural palette? We have Natural 2, which is all cool tones. It's beautiful. And I put it as number 8 just because you just can't get it anymore. But I felt like if I did this list without talking about the cool tones that Scott Barnes can whip up, I would really be remiss. So here it is, number 8, the Scott Barnes Natural palette. You can find it, but you got to kind of be a detective. Here it is outside in the warm California sunshine. There is my number 8 pick, Scott Barnes Natural. It's a pretty one. Number 7 is another newbie. I'm trying to figure out how many new ones I have in here. 3 or 4 new ones. Not too many, actually. And you knew it would be here. Why is it so low on the list? I don't know. I think the other ones were just better. I was surprised myself that I placed this one so low, especially because it's new. But it is the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes Moonlight. This is $68 and definitely a cool tone eyeshadow palette. I suppose you could say that some of these shades start to go a bit warm. I think it still counts though, and they perform beautifully. Why did I not place it higher than 7? I don't know. I just felt like 1 through 6 were better cool tone palettes. If you would like to take issue with me, I welcome it in the comments. I think we can all have a discussion about this. This is for entertainment purposes. It's fun. And frankly, it's just my opinion. So if you disagree, please tell me. Let's take this outside into the warm California sunshine. Here we go. Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes Moonlight for $68, taking my number 7 spot in the best cool tone eyeshadow palettes of all time. Number 6, a little bit of a battle here between 2 Dior Backstage palettes. Are there any Dior Quints that could have counted? Yes. There is, you know, it's funny. I haven't really done like the best warm of all time or neutral. It would almost be too overwhelming. Like it's a little easier to do cool tones, but by the same token, there are a lot of them, and I had to make some. I mean, you know, I didn't want to do the top 50. I could have, but can you imagine the swatching? Then I would have had a right to complain. I had 2 to go by. I looked at the Silver Essentials, $52, but I gave it to the Smoky Essentials, and I don't know if I should have. Let me make sure I did this right. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have. Here's the Smoky Essentials. Does that go too warm, guys? What do you think? And here's the Silver Essentials. When you look at the Silver Essentials, it kind of makes the Smoky Essentials look a little warm, doesn't it? Well, let's take them outside into the warm California sunshine. And here they are. Silver Essentials on top of Smoky Essentials. You tell me what you prefer. I gave it to Smoky Essentials, but if you want to disagree with me, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. And that is the Silver and the Smoky. I gave it to Smoky Essentials for my number 6 of all time cool tone eyeshadow palettes. This is fun for me. I hope you're having fun right along with me. Let's talk number 5. Now we're getting into the top 5. I can't wait to tell you guys my top 2 because I think I'm going to shock you. All right, number 5 is one that is also not available. But if it weren't on the list, I feel like I would have been doing the Cool Tone Revolution Army a disservice. Number 5 is the NARS Climax palette. Woo! Yeah, this is a big popular one. It's really grungy, really dark. It doesn't actually look very good on me. Like I said, I don't really look great in cool tone palettes. But this is Climax, NARS Climax. It is hugely popular. It is very 90s. As a lot of these cool tone shades are. And it's really, I mean, it is an iconic NARS palette. People say that NARS tends to repeat palettes all the time. Not with this one. This is definitely cool tone and kind of iconic for the brand. Here it is outside in the warm California sunshine. The NARS Climax palette, another one that is out of production. When NARS says limited edition, they mean it. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some part of it back at some point or another in another limited edition NARS release. But right now you're going to have to do some cool hunting online to be able to find the NARS Climax. I just felt like we had to put it in there. Okay, top 4. By the way, we haven't gotten to the one that I'm wearing yet. I am wearing our number 2 palette, which we'll get to in just a moment. Number 4, we're going to give it to Pat McGrath, Mothership, number 1. Oh, and the very first Mothership palette. Wow, here it is. With those special baked shades, it's $128 of really luxurious, really inspired eyeshadow. This was the very, very first one. We got our icy blue in there. We got, like I said, our special baked shades. And wait till you see it. Let's take it outside right now, right away, and show you it in the warm California sunshine. And will you be excited to see it? I can't imagine you wouldn't be. It's beautiful. And that is number 4. Why is that not number 1? I just don't reach for it. I have no better, I just never reach, I never think about it. So it had to be in the top 5. But I was like, where do I put it? So I put NARS Climax as 5 because you can't get it anymore. You can still get Mothership 1, but I really don't reach for it. So that got number 4. There's my reasoning, even though it might be fairly pathetic reasoning. All right, top 3. Exciting stuff. We're going to give number 3 to Natasha. And this is where we're going to get a little crazy and people are going to disagree. Natasha Denona tends to call warm shades neutral. And she tends to call neutral shades cool, right? You know, I Need a Nude, a lot of people felt was a cool palette, but I didn't include it. Here's the 3 I went with, and I'll tell you which one I gave it to. I put it among Glam. And you know, there's minis in all these too. I didn't get the minis involved. It's just too much. Retro. I think these are both cool tone. And then one that's most obviously cool tone, Xenon. Not the minis. I know there's minis. You guys, it's just too much. It's just too much. And I gave it to Glam. Probably because it's the one I reach for the most. This is going to have the most kick up in the comments, I would think. Some of you might think it should be I Need a Nude. Others of you will think that neither Glam nor Retro is actually truly cool toned. I'm okay with you expressing your opinion. In fact, I invite it. Here, all 3 are, one on top of another, outside in the warm California sunshine. We have Glam on top of Retro, on top of Xenon, in a big old sloppy mess. All of these palettes are $69. They're all still available. And they are there in a big old sloppy mess. Let me tell you, it just looks like I am a kindergartner who fell into my mother's makeup with those swatches. I am aware of that. But these were the next to last swatches I was doing, and I was tired. It's no excuse. It's no excuse. Okay. Number 2 and number 1, and I'm going to surprise you with both of them, I think. Now that I've done all these, take a moment. Go into comments and guess number 2 or number 1. Just see if you'll get it. Because now the others are out of the way. If I had asked you to guess at the beginning, it's just the guesses would have been all over the place. So take a guess on what 2 or 1, because I'll be shocked if anyone gets either. Number 2 is the palette I'm wearing right now. It is a retro experience. Super fun to go back in time and take a look at it. Charlotte Tilbury Rock Chick, that $55 original Charlotte Tilbury palette. This is the first one I've ever owned. The darn thing is holding up beautifully. It's on my eyes right now. I have had it for an entire eon, probably. We've got that beautiful Charlotte Tilbury emollient shade here where you go in this order and put it on. One of her original looks. I'm wearing it now. It is as pretty, if you ask me, as it ever was. I do know that not this season, but the season before, and I probably should have included it, we had that kind of, she called it Mermaid Core holiday palette that had pinks and blues, and I probably should have included that here. But I definitely am giving the award to her Rock Chick, which is still available for $55. This is still out there, and it's a beauty. And it was fun to go back and revisit it because I never do. And I really should. And it's a beauty. Number 1. Number 1 I gave to a brand you might not have expected, but this brand deserves it because I think this is the best take on 90s cool tone eyeshadow. If you love cool tone makeup and you don't own this, run out and get it because it's such a good one. This is the 9Ts palette by Vive. It is $59 and I think it's just so much fun and so good. Here it is, $59, the 9Ts palette from Vive. Oh my God, it's so pretty. I just love it. Now I got excited to announce number 1, so I need to go back and show you first of all our Charlotte Tilbury Rock Chick in the Warm California Sunshine. Take a look at that one really quickly. And then we're going to go right into the 9Ts palette outside in the Warm California Sunshine. That is my number 1. So number 2 is Charlotte Tilbury, the Rock Chick, and number 1, the 9Ts palette from Vive. And those, as quick as I could say them, I actually need some of my Coke Zero, because I'm parched now from talking so fast. Those are my top 10 cool tone eyeshadow palettes of all time. Taken from someone who can't always pull off a cool tone palette, especially if it gets icy. It's probably why I forgot that other Charlotte Tilbury one. I should have probably had that in here. All right, what did I miss? Because I mean, if I did warm tones, I don't even know if I could like approach that mountain. But with cool tones, it's a bit more surmountable, but I don't know, maybe not. What did I miss, guys? Tell me what I missed. Tell me what I was wrong in. Go ahead and take me up on the Natasha palettes and let me know they weren't cool toned in your estimation. I'm here for it, you guys. Let's have some fun. Let's talk about cool tone eyeshadow. What is your favorite? What did I miss? What are you shocked I did not have on the list? You know, I did top 10 eye pencil or eye crayons, you know, eyeshadow sticks, and I left off By Terry, which was a highway robbery. I should have included them. And I left off a few others that I should have included. So what am I totally remiss in leaving off here? What do you love? Did you guess my 1 or 2? Did you know that this was Charlotte Tilbury on the eyes? Maybe you did. I don't know. Let me know. Gotta be a palette though. Play by the rules. Can't be kind of a one and done shade. Gotta be a palette. Let me know what you think. So much fun to do this here with you guys. Don't forget to check below for my information on the ZIIP Halo so that you too can become chiseled like me. I know I'm not chiseled, but I am working on it. And I'm using my ZIIP Halo to help me. And they have such great deals over there now. I will have all that information down there in the description bar, along with information about how to get any of these palettes. Where I can, I am putting them up here in YouTube shopping, time-stamped, but they're also listed below so that you can pick them up or peruse them where available. I mean, obviously NARS Climax and Scott Barnes aren't up there, but everything else where I can will be down below and or up here in YouTube shopping. Check that out, as well as information about our Facebook page and our membership here on YouTube, how to give super thanks, and where to find me on Instagram and TikTok and all that fun stuff. I would love to thank ZIIP Halo for not only partnering with me on this video, but also helping me look a little bit better. I do appreciate them and this easy tool. Check out their savings, and I look forward to seeing all of you in the next video. Bye-bye.